I'm Melissa.
And I'm Mike.
Welcome back to the A&M podcast.
So,
Oh, we're back together as well.
yeah. In the
Better
same place.
together.
Yeah. So last week I was in Austin.
Tejas.
Which is not why we were in separate places, because when we recorded I was not in Austin.
Yeah, we were still in the same state.
There was just some scheduling conflicts, so it was easier to do that. And I know, just want to mention that there were some audio problems with it. We found that the app we're using has a little bit of an issue with that, and unfortunately, after we had recorded, it was kind of too late to fix the problem. So we're going to keep looking, see if we can figure out how to fix it on that app, or see if there's a different app when we do need to be in diverse locations like that, because it happens.
I thought you were just trying something new with your voice.
Yeah, no, I like right here. Hold on. That I apologize if this bothers you, but we can do reverb on our board here, which makes us sound like we're like in a concert hall or something.
Yes, like I'm in a cave.
Sorry.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. It's like,
Hello.
this is what it would sound like if we were doing this podcast from a stadium.
Oh.
But but that is not what we were doing.
With nobody else in there, though.
Yeah, a completely empty stadium.
which is
probably
accurate.
Yeah, that's what it would actually be.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
Recording these anyways.
Yeah. So but yeah, so I apologize for that, and we'll do our best to not have that happen in the future. Sure that's
done. Anyways, so Easter is obviously right around the corner.
Yeah.
And what I think is so funny about Easter, which I just realized as I got older, because obviously you don't think about it too much when you're younger, as with most holidays. This past weekend, we all celebrated with a bunch of the kids and did a little brunch, Easter egg hunt type of thing. And what I think is so interesting about Easter, obviously we all know the reason for the season. And we all know that it's because Jesus rose. So where do the bunnies and the eggs come in?
Yeah,
where do the plastic eggs filled with candy and toys come into the mix? When did that start?
And why?
Why the bunny?
One of my favorite things is that Jim Gaffigan stand-up routine that he does, where he talks about that, and they're like, "What are we gonna do at Easter? Yeah. How about eggs?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, where did that come from? So.
Funny thing. Dying eggs and all of it, really.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is, like, a lot of those, when we talked about Christmas traditions, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of those traditions came from pagan festivals.
Yeah.
The coloring of eggs is another one.
But even, like, Santa, what makes sense to me is, the Santa figure is based off of a real person, because Santa's a person, and it was based off of a real person that did something similar. Like, it makes more sense to me. Santa makes more sense to me. Yeah. Like, we just made it into a cute kids thing. Right. But he makes sense.
And the Easter Bunny.
The Easter Bunny, it's like, what's funny is even, like, kids believing, not believing in the Easter Bunny, but, like, even yesterday, like, when we gave the kids their baskets.
Right.
It was like, oh, look, the Easter Bunny, look what he dropped off. And seeing a kid actually believe in the Easter Bunny, like, what? Look what the bunny brought us. Like, it's just so funny to me. Like,
could you imagine, like, if that, because like, we were at a petting zoo on Saturday.
Yeah.
And they had a whole area with bunnies and chicks in it.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine if, like, there was just a bunny,
like a giant one, obviously?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is like the way we represent the Easter Bunny is like, a person in a bunny suit.
Yeah.
Which, if there was actually a bunny that large, it would be frightening.
Terrifying.
Like, I would be frightened of that. I would run the other. It would be the largest rodent on the planet. Yeah. And it would be frightening for me. So imagine if it was just like a little bunny that, like, came into your house and brought little baskets and carried them and dropped them. That would be neat.
Adorable. That would be
That would be
adorable.
so cool.
So adorable. Even like watching like we're all standing outside watching all the kids like run around the yard and
Yeah.
tackle each other over these like candy filled eggs. And, we're all just standing there like, I love Easter. Look at these kids chasing after all these eggs. Like,
Yeah.
name a more Easter activity.
Yeah, and I think I always liked Easter from when we like lived up north, and it would be cold, and Easter was like you're starting to get to warm weather. Maybe it's a nice day where it's warm and the sun's out and all
Hmm.
that. So I think that's part of it too.
Hmm.
I'm just looking at some other things here on like the Easter egg thing because the other one that I wonder about is like where did Easter egg hunts come from? Like when did they start doing that? When did they start hiding eggs and making you go find them?
And making it. I mean, part of me, I think, it does have to do with maybe just like springtime, you know?
Yeah.
So, bunnies are spring.
Right.
But even now, though, if I'm decorating and I see a bunny thing, I'm even in my head correlating it more to Easter than
Right.
just spring as a whole. So my bunny decorations, I don't think I would leave my bunny decorations up all the way through like till summertime.
Yeah. Same. Same. I mean, because um, yeah, it's kind of like there are some like winter type decorations that you can leave up, all like winter long, like maybe a snowman you can leave up or snowflakes. But
Mhm.
anything like Santa related or
Oh yeah,
that
no,
kind of
that
thing,
too,
like
exactly.
reindeer, you're not going to leave that
Trees,
up.
Christmas. I mean, unless it's just a yeah.
So, and then here's another thing that says Easter eggs are associated with Jesus' resurrection in Christianity due to their symbolism of new life and rebirth. So that's part of it.
Mm.
Mirroring Christ's emergence from the tomb. Excuse me. The empty shell represents the empty tomb, and the cracking of the egg signifies Jesus' resurrection. I'm still curious about why we started hiding them though. Like, were there not? Was it a year like this where there weren't enough eggs? So they said to the kids, "Oh no, there's eggs, but we had to hide them, and you got to go find them."
I mean, I I feel like that's reaching a little bit.
Yeah.
Like when people have a dream of something and you'll Google like, why did I dream this?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you dreamed that because of this reason, because you're stressed or because you're going through something. And part of me believes it, like, wow,
Right.
yeah, maybe like cuz I was kind of stressed the other day, so yeah, maybe that is why I was dreaming about like
Yeah.
the house on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've never put much faith in those things of like, because they used to sell books that were like dream books that told you like what different dreams meant.
They
And
all
I've
mean the
always thought,
same thing, like you're going through something.
yeah, but I've always thought, how do they know that? I mean, unless dreams are a window into alternate reality versions of ourselves,
I think they're looking
which
at
is
it.
my theory.
They look into it like this is how you process things.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like with a lot of that stuff. Like, how do you know that's what it means? You know, there's no actual way to know that's what it means.
Yeah, I
Like you
think
can you can do a lot of like analysis of, well, when this happens, it's this person also has this going on.
mhm.
You can do that kind of analysis, but you can't 100% say that that's what the dream means.
Yeah.
Gosh, sorry.
No, I think that's what they're doing with the eggs. Oh, and the cracking of the egg is rebirth. Like, yeah,
Oh
I
yeah, yeah, yeah,
mean, technically, yeah, I guess so.
yeah. Because here's
But that's
something.
not why. Come on, that's not why we're hiding plastic eggs in the yard.
Right. Yeah. Here's something that says that the tradition. It's kind of the same sort of thing. It says the tradition of hiding them. Some believing it symbolizes the search for the empty tomb and the risen Jesus. So it's what it's saying is like when they went to the tomb and he wasn't there, and then they're looking for him. That's what the eggs are. I don't think that's anything to do with it. I think it's kind of like candy canes, you know. Apparently they were originally made as like candy, like shepherd's crooks. You know, that's why it's shaped like that. But it was just something they made to like keep the children like
Happy.
quiet
Yeah.
during Christmas Eve mass. That was the original, like how they were originally did. I think it was a priest maybe that developed them. So I'm thinking it's the same thing with the Easter egg hunt. It was just like something to do to keep the kids occupied, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Something fun.
And I think it goes back to just it's springtime. So obviously there's a bunch of different animal like there's the baby chicks like that are decorations too. Like
Yep.
there's the bunnies, the chickens,
Yep.
their eggs. That's where I think that's really where all of it just came from
Yeah.
is all of those cutesy little animals in springtime and pastel colors and
Well, yeah, the bunny and the eggs all are supposed to represent, like, regardless of the more religious aspect of it, which Easter is a religious holiday, but they represent like new life and rebirth. That's
mhm.
that's where that comes from.
Yeah, because I think with a lot of times when it comes to Easter, I mean, I guess there are people who do this with a lot of the other religious holidays. A lot of people don't necessarily even celebrate it. Like even if you're celebrating it like for the kids, it's not even I don't want to say it's not about the religious side of it, but it's more just for oh, it's Easter, you get an Easter basket, here's some
Yeah.
candy and like a little toy.
Yeah. Yeah, and
It's
I mean,
like
not to
people do that and they don't necessarily they're not also celebrating the religious side of it.
right.
It's just
Right, which
it's Easter, here's an Easter basket. It's Christmas. Here let's put up a tree and here's some presents cuz
yeah.
like that's what we do on Christmas. It's not.
Yeah, there's I mean, it's funny because there's like what I would call like a secular Christmas, which is more like Santa focused and that kind of thing, where it's not as focused on the actual reason for Christmas, the meaning of
Mhm.
Christmas, and not as much with Easter. I feel like, but
Mhm.
but that's still there too. Like
Mhm.
you know it's not really focused on why we celebrate Easter. It's more focused on the bunny and the eggs and the Easter egg hunt and all that and
Mhm.
ham.
Are there any other holidays like that? Christmas and Easter.
Like what? I don't know what you mean. That are both religious and
But it's like a religious holiday, but it doesn't really have
I mean technically Thanksgiving, to be honest, was that kind of holiday. Um,
but even that I feel like, well, but even then I that like with that it was about the pilgrims
but it was the
having dinner with the Indians.
well that I mean the original reason for Thanksgiving was it was the first settlers uh, thanking God for what they had, basically. And some of the other like
Mm.
symbolism comes in, with the whole, imagery of the Native Americans sharing food with the
Yeah.
pilgrims and all of that. But that's why it was called Thanksgiving. They were giving thanks. And today it's become more kind of turned into just giving thanks in general,
Like
not
period.
thanks. Well, who am I giving thanks to? Am I, you know,
I want to thank my mom, my
Yeah,
dad.
yeah. It's like, well, when I'm thankful for something, who do I, who am I thanking? Am I just general like, I'm thankful that I have a good family and I have a house and I have all, but who am I thankful to? Right? This is getting too philosophic for our
It
podcast,
is.
but you understand what I'm saying. So that's that's where Thanksgiving came from.
Mm.
Thanksgiving is completely secularized now.
Yeah,
None
I mean,
none
I
of
always
that's
thought it
even
was
there
just
anymore.
the from the Pilgrims and the Indians having a meal together. But even then, like even Thanksgiving though, it's about the turkey and there's like the all the turkeys everywhere. That's because we eat turkey.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
That's
it's
always been a big part of the meal. So it's like, even that though, it's still funny because, oh, we're eating this big turkey. Everything you see is this cute little cartoon turkey
yeah. We should feel guilty.
looking so happy.
Yeah, we should feel guilty. Like when I go to eat my plate of turkey and I look at the napkin and it's got the
Yeah.
cute little cartoon turkey on it, I should
Cute
be like,
cartoon turkey
I
full of
can't eat.
life.
I can't eat now. It's like the
Yeah,
thing they do at the
that's
White
funny.
House where they pardon a turkey and it's purely like a symbolic thing. It's
Yeah.
purely for the cameras and that they pardon a turkey and then he goes to live up the rest of his days on some farm. But just that one, because
But they also
how
do
many
that
turkeys
at
do we eat on Thanksgiving?
barbecue restaurants too, where like obviously one of the main things they serve there is pork, like ribs and pulled pork and everything, but
Oh
the
yeah,
mascot for the
yep,
barbecue place is
bu-
this friendly little pig.
yep, Bubbaloo's, right? They had
All of
three
them.
little pigs, I think
Yeah.
was their symbol.
So many of
Oh,
them.
R.I.P. Bubbaloo's.
Eh. I heard they had cockroaches in their kitchen all the
Yeah.
time.
Well, if they made the food taste the way it did, then put them in all of mine.
It was
Um,
okay. You know where you should go instead? Keller's.
no, you know what?
Keller's is really good. Oh yeah, how was Austin's
Austin,
barbecue?
that I sent you a picture of that plate
Yeah.
of brisket that I had. It was really good. It was better than Bubbaloo's. No offense to the former Bubbaloo's, but it was really. I mean, everything there was really good. Like the
Mhm.
green beans, I had a side of green beans with it, and they were like amazing. I
Did you
had
try In and Out while you were out there?
no,
Did you see
um,
one?
no.
Because
We
they have
did see
that
a
in Texas.
what's the other burger place?
Whataburger.
Whataburger. There was a Whataburger.
I heard
Um,
In and Out. I've never had it, but I've heard some people say that it's like not worth the hype. Kind of
yeah.
like Cane's. Like people always talk about Cane's because it's one of those
Yeah, haven't
restaurants that
haven't
like.
eaten at that one there.
Oh really? It's okay.
It just opened down there.
It's just like a human magoo's or a PDQ. I don't. To me, it's not like it's
That's
just
like
a chicken place with a
chicken
special
guy.
sauce.
Chicken guy.
Better than Chicken Guy for sure.
Chicken guy. I'm not that. I mean, it's okay, but I'd rather PDQ.
Chicken Guy, and I don't even
PDQ is
care. I
much
don't
better
even
than
care because I don't want to. I would never, at any point, need them to
right.
sponsor our channel, anyways.
Right.
Um,
No, but
Chicken Guy for it being Guy Fieri, whatever
it's
his last
Fieri.
name
Yeah,
is.
it's Fieri.
Don't even
Or as
care.
I occasionally call him, Guy Fiery.
Yeah, for it being his restaurant, because he's somebody that goes to so many. This is getting so off topic from like
Yeah.
what, but whatever. This is just what
Yeah.
we do. We're just on here yapping. This is just a yap fest. So
Yeah.
for
We always have to put like the title.
yeah,
I think the title for this will just be whatever.
just yapping. So the thing is with Guy is that he travels all over, if not the world, at least the United
Well, yeah,
States.
he used to do that. I don't know if he still does that. Diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Yeah, where he's traveling everywhere to try so many different restaurants, so many different like barbecue spots, different cuisines.
Right.
And okay, sure, makes it his own chicken restaurant. But the chicken restaurant that he makes has chicken tenders that are just
Average.
nothing special.
Yeah, they're just average. And they say, well, it's all
PDQ
about the
has
sauces.
PDQ has way better. Okay, you're making a restaurant just to show off your sauce, then like bottle it up and put it in the store.
Yeah.
Like you got a whole restaurant
Yeah,
selling overpriced chicken
have,
tenders
yeah.
and French fries for like to show
Well,
off your sauces. That he charges for, and
Yeah.
there was so many. There was also, this is also a complaint I have, not to be a complainer, but this, I guess I am. He had so many different sauces there. What was it, like over 20? And they charge for sauce, which I get, you kind of have to, but you should at least, if you
Yeah,
have
you
that
should
many
get a few.
sauces, let me try at least 3 for free.
Yeah, exactly. I
And
agree with that.
when you have that many sauce anyways, it's hard to try them all. So now I have to pay for each sauce. I don't know what they taste like. I want to try. I want to try a little bit of each. Really, that's what I did when we went to PDQ for the
Yeah.
first time. I
Yeah.
got one of each sauce, and they gave them to me for free.
Well, and down in Winter Park, where his restaurant is, like just a little up and right across the street is a PDQ. So if I'm driving there, I'm just gonna go to PDQ
Mm-hmm.
because their chicken. You're right, their chicken's much better.
Yeah, it wasn't even good chicken.
Yeah.
So for somebody that has tried and judged so many other people's food, I think it's crazy that that's the kind of restaurant that you open. And I actually thought I heard that it was closing or something.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I thought I heard
I,
that like a while
well,
ago.
I was gonna say I can't imagine that because when we were there, it was busy.
That was when it
But we
first
were there.
opened.
Yeah, we were there. Excuse me. We were there right after it opened. So
I can't imagine it's still
I know the
busy.
one down at Disney Springs is always busy.
But
But
I think that's even one of those places, it's an experience type of place.
true, true. Yeah,
Like, yeah.
like Planet Hollywood down there, which I will never go to again because we had a terrible experience. And that's a Guy Fieri menu too.
There you
And it was
go.
the same thing, right? It was way overpriced because it's
Hmm.
Planet Hollywood.
Hmm.
The service was horrible. I mean, it was horrible. We were waiting to get like some burgers and fries and that. We waited over an hour. We waited almost 40 minutes before we even ever got our order taken, and then we waited a long while after that before we got the food. It was just I'll never go back there.
And probably a regular schmegular burger.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was nothing special. Like
Yeah.
I've had much better burgers
Five Guys.
at Five Guys. Yeah, Burger Fi. Yeah,
And by
exactly.
the way, I'm not a Guy Fieri like hater,
No,
but because I do enjoy his show.
yeah,
But
and also if he if he wanted to if Santos Tequila wanted to sponsor our podcast, that would be great because that's also
oh,
Sammy Hagar.
and we do like tequila.
Yeah. Well, I actually don't,
Oh well, I do.
but I'd try
So
the
I guess
rum.
we's too many.
Yeah,
Um.
I prefer rum to tequila. That
Anyways,
sounds like a country song.
I prefer rum to tequila.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
except
I'm gonna ask
country.
ChatGPT to turn that into a country song for me.
Yeah, so anyways, that's how I felt also about Canes. Canes is okay, but I think a lot of people put a lot of hype between like Canes and just
Yeah.
In and Out and those type of places because
Right.
they aren't everywhere. So it's not like a McDonald's or Chick-fil-A that they have them in pretty much every state. You
Right.
can't get it everywhere, so it's like, oh no, Cane's is the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
Have you tried Huey Magoo's? It's way better,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
think.
that's the other thing I had in Texas. It was really good though. It was at a place called Cooper's, um,
Mm,
which I found funny because the
your
dog.
dog.
But anyway, apparently that's like a small chain there. Like they have a couple of those restaurants. But and it was good food. I had ribs there, but I had a side of bacon jalapeno mac and cheese.
Mhm. Yeah,
It was really good.
there's a place
Since you asked.
bacon jalapeno mac and cheese. I don't really like jalapenos.
It
I
wasn't
actually
no, but it wasn't super. It wasn't like real hot, but you
mm,
got that little bit of jalapeno flavor.
there's also this place in Texas. Well, I guess it originated in Texas. Like the creator started in Texas
Hmm.
and then kind of started franchising out and making more locations. And they, within the last, I think it's like the last 2 years or so, they started opening outside of Texas, like locations outside. Because I think they already have maybe two or three in Texas. And then they started branching out to other states, and Florida was one of them. And they have one in Altamont Springs, Torchy's Tacos.
Oh, I
And it started in Texas, and
wow.
they have a bunch of different
Have
really
you
good
been there?
tacos.
Oh,
Yeah, they
okay.
have really good tacos. They have like a chicken tender taco. They have the best queso. They
Wow.
just have like a bunch of other different types of tacos. They have a really good shrimp taco, like a
Hmm.
Baja shrimp taco or something. The only thing with those is that they are kind of overpriced. Not
Yeah.
overpriced, but you know what I think it is? Because I know when you go out to eat, you're gonna overspend anyways. But when you're somebody that cooks and like buys ingredients and cooks all the time,
Hmm.
kind of like from scratch, you really realize how much you're being, not to be that person, but how much places are overcharging for things. So
Right.
when you're charging me $7 for one shrimp taco with like some coleslaw on it. I, as somebody who cooks tacos very similar to that, I'm like, you're making one heck of a profit
Yeah,
charging $7 for one taco. Like
that's quite the markup.
the
Yeah.
part the I know they're not making homemade tortillas, and even if they were, a tortilla is water and flour, you know. But so I know a pack of tortillas
Yeah,
real inexpensive.
right.
Making
Especially if
tortillas
you're
from
buying them for
scratch
a restaurant because you're buying them
in
probably in
super
larger
bulk.
quantities. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's the only thing about them. I will say like they're pretty filling, so you know, I could go there, I could get two tacos and like that's plenty.
Right.
But man, yeah, I always pay attention to that. Like $7 for like a shrimp, $6, $7 for a shrimp taco. That's crazy. Like you can
Yeah.
get so much. Shrimp is like one of the cheaper seafoods that you can get so much of for so cheap in the first place.
True.
And
That's what I was gonna say though. Is the price of shrimp up for some reason?
no way.
No,
You're putting
it's
like
not like eggs.
three shrimp on that taco. Like that
Yeah.
should not be
Yeah.
$7.
Yeah.
Cause
But
shrimp are cheaper because they're what do they call them? Bottom crawlers, bottom
bottom
feeders.
feeders. Oh,
Cause they
didn't
just
know that.
yeah, cause they just eat the stuff.
Did you,
Like
did you ever clean shrimp?
yeah, where you clean the intestine. I like
Yeah.
buying them already deveined
Yeah, me
though.
too. Me too. That's because that's disgusting. Like, it's
It's
like once
like
I've done that, okay, I don't want to eat this now.
yeah, like
you know.
we did when so like with the fish tank, they say like to get I think it's called ghost shrimp
Yeah.
or cherry shrimp
Yeah.
because the ocellatos they poop a lot. So
They clean it.
they said to get a bunch of shrimp and they're like these little see-through ghost shrimp and they just stay on the
Could
bottom
you
and
imagine
they
somebody that misread it and they like went and bought frozen shrimp at like Publix and just dumped it in the tank?
yeah.
I don't see how this is gonna clean it, but
No, they sit there and they the whole thing is like, yeah, you buy a bunch of these ghost shrimp. They'll keep your tank clean because the ocellatos poop a lot, so they'll eat the ocellatos poop, and then the ocellato will eat the shrimp, and then it's just an ongoing cycle.
yeah, the circle of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's shrimp are one of the ones I know for certain types of shrimp for saltwater tanks too. You can put them in
Hmm.
to keep it clean.
Yeah. The only thing is that their lifespan is so short, so like only a
Don't get
few.
attached.
Like we had some, there were some that, and they're ghost shrimp, so they're see through. I mean,
Okay,
I guess most shrimp are see through, but
they're at least translucent. Yeah.
yeah. And there was a few of them in there that even Adrian was like, that one looks kind of pregnant. And then he Googles pregnant ghost shrimp, and it looked exactly like a few of them that were in the tank.
Oh wow.
I was like, wow, they're pregnant.
Bonus.
Oh my goodness, they're gonna have so many babies, and then like it's you won't even need to buy any.
Yeah.
Then we start Googling that I guess the ghost shrimp, even if they had the babies, the chance of the babies surviving in that environment, they
Uh,
wouldn't. So it wasn't gonna be a situation
they
of
eat them
like,
themselves or.
yeah, they do.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
Isn't that
Oh,
crazy?
now I'm gonna have nightmares.
That is the crazy part of animals is
Yeah.
they will eat their offspring
Yeah.
some of them
That's
just
so
like nothing.
like a species like that. You wonder how they survive.
Yeah.
Wow, have we gotten off the topic of Easter eggs?
It reminds me of this meme I saw where it said, "What do you mean this animal is extinct? You've looked everywhere."
Yeah, right. That's true. I saw something the other day about a breed of wolf that
Hmm.
was extinct that they brought back. I don't know how they did it, but it was some breed of.
I think sometimes they find I don't know.
See if I can find the story on that because they had it on the news and it's apparently like I think it's a breed of wolf that they feature in was it what is it Game of Thrones maybe, but it's an extinct uh, breed.
They brought it back. Hmm.
Which, so here's my thing about that kind of thing, like bringing animals. Because years ago they were also talking about the dire wolf. That's what it is. Um, that here's my thing with bringing back animals like that. It sounds like a great idea,
Mhm.
except that we currently have, it's a circle of life thing, right?
Mhm.
It's like when animals that aren't native to Florida get
Mm.
released into Florida, pythons.
Oh
People have
yeah.
released pythons here. That messes up the whole circle of life here,
Ecosystem.
the whole ecosystem, because you get and in the food chain, because you now have introduced like a new predator into the environment. So
Mhm.
animals that would be, eaten by other animals are now going to get eaten by the
Yeah.
what was I just saying?
The wolf, the
Well, not the
dire
wolf. I
wolf.
was talking about the snake that
Oh
pythons
yeah, the
that have been,
python.
been wow, my brain just woo.
I was still thinking about your dire wolf.
But yeah, the same thing with the dire wolf, right? So
Mhm.
you've created these now in a lab somewhere,
Mhm.
and now you've brought a species back, which it sounds great, except they have to eat.
Mhm.
So what other animal now is going to have its? And maybe you put them in an area where there's an overabundance of other wolves, and it reduces their population some, but whatever. But they were
Mhm.
also talking about woolly mammoths and how close they were to being able to bring woolly mammoths back because they had some like have you ever seen in Jurassic Park, the first Jurassic Park, where they talk about how you seem like you've gotten incredibly bored with this conversation all of a sudden, but
I'm just trying to keep up with all the
I know I'm
animals.
I'm going all over the place. In Jurassic Park, though, the way they explained that they were able to bring back the dinosaurs was like they found um, I don't know, some kind of a fossil that had a mosquito in it, and that mosquito had bitten
Oh,
a
the
dinosaur.
blood.
So they had actual blood from some
Mm.
breed of dinosaur that they were able to use
That's how they
to
brought it back.
clone, yeah, that animal. And that's the same way that they were doing. I think that
Crazy.
they were doing the woolly mammoth, but they also don't like have all the information. So then they fill in the blanks with similar animals. So I think like with woolly mammoths,
Oh yeah.
it's elephants,
Elephant.
that they would use. And this was probably 20 years ago or more that I saw this show that they were talking about it. And I don't even like, some people would say it's an ethical question. I even think of it more as like, you know, like does it make sense question. Like, do we
Yeah.
want to bring back animals that became extinct, just because we think it'd be neat to have them here again?
Survival of the fittest.
Right.
It went extinct, hey, I don't care if it's the cutest animal ever.
Yeah.
Imagine if house cats or something like that.
Like just became extinct.
Even though, I think cats have it figured out. They're everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cats
No,
are
but if you could like clone a house cat that was like if I could clone Selena.
Oh, I would keep yeah.
They do that now,
Should
but
I
it's like
keep a
very
vial of
expensive.
Maple's blood just in
Yeah.
case?
Well, it would be when they die, you get it, and you just take it to the clone. I think they do that now, but it's super expensive.
How expensive?
Like a lot. I don't know, but it's a lot of money. And the thing is,
Does it have the same personality and all of
that's
that?
that's what you're
Can
not.
I also transfer the brain?
Yeah, I mean that's what you're not guaranteed of, right? You're gonna recreate. It will be at its DNA level an exact duplicate of the other animal, but its life experience will be different. So its personality won't be the same. Because, like Selena, for example, using her as
If
an
I
example.
raise it the same way.
So what are you gonna do? Like, if I wanted Selena to be reproduced to be the exact same cat, I'd have to get her and then release her out into the wild for a few weeks and hope she survives. And then we'd have to find her while she's up in a tree, walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm looking it
some
up
of
now.
some of their personality is life experience based. It's not all genetic. Some of it's genetic, sure, but some of it is life experience based. Because think about it, if an animal when it's small, let's use this as an example. If you had two genetic duplicates of the
Yeah.
same animal,
Yeah.
and you put one of those animals in a house that treats it with respect, it's loving, cuddles it, and you
Yeah,
put
but
the
if
other one
I
in a
get the same
house.
animal.
Right, right, right. I get what you're saying, but I'm just listen to my example though. and you put the other one in a house where it's like they don't feed it all the time and they kick it and they're just mean
Yeah.
jerks to it and all that. Like those two animals are going to have completely different personalities.
Like Rain wouldn't be the same animal bringing back because she would have a better life. She would grow up with me from day one.
Right. She
Okay,
wouldn't be
so
afraid of everything.
how much, which is kind of what made her cute, her
Yeah.
trauma.
Yeah.
Poor girl. Okay, so how much do you think it is to clone a cat, a house?
$26,000.
Is that your final answer?
And I don't know. I think it's a lot more than that.
Okay, so what do you actually think it is?
Probably upwards of hundreds of thousands. 300,000.
You really like jumped out the window. You went from 26 to
I know, but
300,000.
that's my guess.
Okay, is that your real answer?
Yeah.
300,000.
Yeah.
No, sir. It is $50,000.
50,000. Okay, so I was closer on the first one.
Yeah, you were. 300,000 would be crazy. I think these places wouldn't be in business. 50,000? I don't know. Maybe it sounds maybe it's
50,000's
toxic
a
of me,
little
but it
high.
doesn't sound bad.
50,000 is a little high. I mean, well, wealthy people like the Kardashians with their nasty cookies. Wait,
Oh yeah,
can we?
we could talk
I
about
think
it.
we could talk about
Let's
that.
just jump on that train.
Yeah, this will be Easter eggs and everything else. There's
So my parents get crumble cookie pretty much every week. Y'all get it.
yeah. If they're good ones, if they don't look like good ones, then we skip.
So, which this week y'all got them.
Yeah.
I think you
We
had
got
to get them
duped.
this week just because it was like a.
Well, they weren't all terrible.
They weren't all terrible.
Actually, most of them were very good.
I wish I could have tried the cookie dough one.
Yeah. Sorry.
So Kourtney Kardashian got, she's real healthy, gluten free, sugar free, dairy free,
Don't eat cookies.
gluten like flour, all of that. Doesn't eat cookies. Clearly by the taste of her dessert, doesn't eat
She's
sweets. Period.
Never eaten a cookie in her life.
Or like cake or brownies.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know what that would be called. Like it wasn't a cookie for sure.
Yeah, I don't either.
It was like a brownie cake, like
With what looked like ganache, but
looked like ganache.
I don't know what that was.
Tasted burned. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I can't even describe it.
I took a bite. I just came here and they had it. I've been hearing a lot of hate online about it. I heard one guy who said it was okay, and then he tried it again. And he was like, "Wait, just kidding. I hate it."
Well, the thing to me was it looked delicious. It looked like that was going to be delicious.
Like a fudgy.
And then, because I think that might have been the first one I tried when we got them. Because, we always get them and we like take a little sample.
Yeah.
And that was the first one I tried because it looked like it was going to be delicious. And then I've never had a crumble cookie before that I would say was bad.
You just straight up like hated.
There are some that I like less than others that I'm like, yeah, it's okay. And some that I'm like, wow, that one's really good. That one's my favorite,
Mm-hmm.
That could be a game time segment. We get some crumble cookies and we give our opinion on it. That's not really game time, but you know what I mean. Anyway.
Game time is just like random.
Yeah. But that's the first one I've ever tasted that I wanted to spit it out. I didn't, but I wanted to spit it out. And
you didn't spit it out. You just ate it.
I didn't. I took one for the team.
I couldn't.
Yeah, I know.
Neither
could your mom.
I just didn't want to deal with the taste anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
So I took a bite of it, and they kept it in the microwave, so it was like warm. Was it warm when you guys got it? It was served warm.
Honestly, I forget. I'm trying to wipe it from my memory.
So it was kind of warm, and on the first impression was like right when it touches your tongue, you're like, oh, this is a fudgy. It's a fudgy texture, so you get the texture of it, like, oh, okay, a warm fudgy, like brownie type consistency, and then it moves on to, oh, okay, I kind of taste some chocolate here. And then the second, like, I don't know, then your taste buds actually, you're eating it long enough now at this point that your taste buds really realize what's going on. And that's
you realize how you've been duped.
Because when I first took that bite, I was literally about to say to them, it's not even bad. because I was just getting chocolate fudgy. And then the real taste hit me. I had to spit it out. It was
Yeah.
so nasty. It was like a,
So it wasn't sweet. Like it was very not sweet.
mm-hmm.
Which with dark chocolate can be okay, right? Because it was kind of a dark chocolate,
Oh yeah, that
but
would make sense.
it wasn't good. And then there was that raspberry taste that just kind of made it. And I have nothing against raspberry, but somehow it just made it worse. It was not good.
I don't
It
really
was
like
not good.
raspberry sauce or like those, the like chocolate covered like cherry or the cherry with like the
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
yeah,
about?
yep. Those like I forget what they're called, but those
Ugh,
chocolate covered cherries. Yeah,
nasty. I don't like those. It was so gross, y'all.
yeah. It
Don't.
was so.
If
If you were
well, you
well,
can't
you
try
can't
it
buy
now,
it now.
anyways.
You can't try it.
So
Yeah, it's gone.
consider yourself lucky.
And
And
advice
honestly,
to Crumble, like this is no hate on which one was it? Courtney Kardashian.
mhm.
No hate on her, but don't let her design any
We
more
shouldn't have let her
cookies.
design a cookie anyway.
Yeah, like if she's being healthy, like a fruit salad, let her design a fruit salad.
You know what she could have done? She could have done some like banana. Have you ever seen like where it's just pretty much mashed up banana and
Oh
like
yeah,
baking powder or baking
yeah.
soda,
And they
something
make
like
cookies
that?
out of it. Yeah, something
And they
like
make
that. Yeah,
cookies out of it or like a pancake. She could have had like
yeah,
a pancake or something, like a banana pancake.
yeah. But I have to wonder too. Like, did nobody at Crumble taste that thing?
I
Because
think they
the
did,
what
but
was the what was the Kris Jenner one? That was
the yellow
the
cake
yellow
with
cake
chocolate
one.
icing.
That was amazing. That see now she knows what tastes good.
She does. That was the best one.
That
That
was
was the
good because
only.
it was just good classic. It tasted just like a good classic like yellow cake with good chocolate icing. That was
That was
really
really
good.
the only one that I liked. The skillet brownie thing was also like that was pretty good, but
Yeah, that one
the
was
other
one
ones
of the
were just
just
regular.
okay. I like the snickerdoodle one, but I really like
But they've had that before.
cinnamon.
Like
Yeah,
I
that's
think the
true.
other ones they've had them before.
That's true.
The confetti one, they've had that before just without
So
the icing.
so did they like come up with these, or was it just ones that like they've had before and they liked?
I think it was just like um
So then it's
I think they just worked together. So obviously
uh,
like if like if I'm going to if Crumble comes to me and is like, "Hey, we want to put out an Alyssa cookie this week."
by the way, crumble.
Um, I love the snickerdoodle, but you know, I think what it was okay, I love a snickerdoodle cookie. That's my favorite cookie. So I'm gonna tell you, oh yeah, let's do snickerdoodle.
Right.
But I have to make it some kind of special way because I can't just be like, oh, we're doing the Alyssa cookie and it's just a plain
Yeah.
snickerdoodle like we've had
Like
with
okay, I
like
want the
so many times
snickerdoodle, but
before.
can you dip it in mayonnaise?
Yeah, like drizzle chocolate over it or something. Dip it in mayonnaise would be
That was
really crazy.
ugh.
Oh, that's funny. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I think like even Kylie's hers had like the pink icing on top because everything that she has is pink. Who knows though?
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And then like Chris, it was probably like a
It's just she likes yellow cake with
she likes
chocolate
yellow
icing.
cake and chocolate and icing. And,
And so do I.
I always forget about that combo when it comes to having a birthday
I
cake.
know, right? Same. Like it's always like yeah, same.
Like I always just go for chocolate on chocolate, but
Yeah.
I love a yellow cake with chocolate,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah, I'm
cupcake.
with you. Like you forget how good it is until you have that. And yeah, that's the perfect cupcake right there.
Yeah,
Yellow
that's a
cake,
good cupcake.
chocolate icing.
Okay, so when October rolls around,
Remember that. I'll forget by then, but you remember it
I'll
for
remember it.
me. So,
Yeah.
all right, we've covered everything about it. Well, the one thing we haven't talked about with egg shortages, and I'm really not going to because I don't think I have anything to say about it. Add to it.
I don't think the egg shortages are really a thing right now.
Well, the price is up because I mean, if you go into it's the odd one. We can't find the the liquid the eggs you buy in a carton,
Oh yeah, I heard
which
that.
are really egg
Uh-huh.
whites, I guess. But
Yeah.
you can't find those anywhere. Like Target, we've been going there for the past 3 weeks
They've
looking
been
for them.
sold out?
Yeah, we found them in
Really?
Publix, but they had like 2 cartons of them left.
Really?
Yeah, and the price of them's up. They used to be about $5 for a bottle, and now it's like 8.
I'm checking my Target app right now. Have you checked like other Target stores?
No. Well, I mean, our Target's 5 minutes away, so if it's not there, then we're going to Publix. We're just not going there then.
Mm,
Or I think we were able to get some maybe on Walmart because on the Walmart, delivery deal,
wow.
but the price is way up.
I'm checking right now. I got my eggs from Aldi.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, wow, they don't have them.
So
I typed in egg whites and they don't have.
when we were at the petting zoo, and there
Mhm.
were chickens there, I thought about taking one. But,
Have you seen people going to Trader Joe's and they have like the fertilized eggs
oh, no way!
in a carton? It's like
Wow,
a organic fertilized egg, and people are taking those home, putting them in a little incubator that they probably got from Amazon, and some of them are literally hatching
growing chickens.
into little
Wow, and
chicks.
then they got eggs for life. Well, not maybe not
So
for
it's
life.
like, okay, whatever, I'm spending 10, $15 for this carton of eggs, but I
Yeah,
don't know how much they
there
are,
was something
but
on the news about somebody that had chickens, and somebody came and stole like 6 of them.
what?
Yeah, they had like their own, I like farmers market type farm. They didn't produce a lot, but and somebody stole 6 of their chickens, and they said we'll be down a half dozen eggs a day because I guess they produce 1 egg a day. Each chicken does.
Oh my goodness.
So
Wow,
if you
one egg
like
a
eggs,
day.
and you want it for at home, you got to have like
A lot
at
of
least a couple of
chickens.
chickens.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought they produced more eggs than that. That
yeah.
kind of
I mean, when you think about it, though, that kind of makes. I mean, it's not like
an
looks
egg
like
a
they'd be
day.
hard to produce.
But if I'm eating 2 eggs per day,
That means you need 2 chickens.
oh,
Two
true.
chickens per person per day if you want 2 eggs.
Mm, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah,
Because I
you
also
gotta have
heard
the
chickens are
storage
kind
for
of
that.
messy.
Yeah, yeah, and then they might attract like predators. I don't need to deal with all that.
Oh, yeah. Like
I don't
I'm
need
I'm
that.
hearing a noise in the middle of the night and it's my chickens, my
Yeah,
scared chickens.
yeah.
And then there goes my eggs for
Uh,
breakfast tomorrow.
yeah, yeah. And then what am I having for breakfast? And also then I've got to hear at 4 a.m. have to, or whatever time the sun comes up. I got to hear it going cockadoodle doo. That's a
Oh yeah,
rooster, I
that's
guess,
the
not the chicken.
rooster. Yeah. Anyways.
All
Mm.
right, that's our discussion of
So it looks like you're still buying those overpriced cartons.
yeah, well, that's it. Or I'm not eating eggs.
That's
You know,
funny.
one or the other.
Yeah.
So happy Easter, and enjoy your. Oh, one other thing. So they were talking today about how they're selling things for instead of coloring eggs, since eggs are scarce, I guess. They're trying to get people to color marshmallows instead. So like the big marshmallows, like the giant
That
ones, they want you to color those instead. So
is that a real thing?
they had it on the news. So
Stop.
yep.
Who wants
I
that?
have no idea. A marshmallow hunt, and then you forget where it is, and it gets hot one day in the house, and then it melts.
Eggs are really only $6 a carton at Aldi, I think, like five, six, between
Yeah.
four to
But they
six
used to be a
dollars.
buck
Like,
something. That's why people are upset. They used to
yeah,
be like a
but
dollar 80,
you
two
know,
bucks.
don't do
Yeah.
the marshmallows. That's
No,
so
that's terrible. That
lame.
is terrible.
Like y'all couldn't think
That's
of anything else. They said, what other food
right.
is white?
Yeah. I mean, go get like plastic white plastic eggs and color those if you want.
Yeah, that's
Silly.
awful. That's funny.
But anyway, have a happy Easter, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Bye.